But if you welcome that presence in, if you go in your prayer and your meditation to this spark within the heart and learn to be with it, then it is no longer your life. You begin to share it with the divine, and this is where miracles happen, and this is where the miraculous takes over. And I often feel we somehow live in a culture starved of the miraculous. We think a miracle is just something that can happen to an individual. We've forgotten that a miracle can happen to the whole of life. We've forgotten that the very foundation of life is the miraculous. You know, we go to healers, we go to teachers in search of the miraculous, but the miraculous is something fundamental to life, because life is a miracle. And that's why I often feel when we see a newborn child, it touches us so deeply, because that miracle is tangible, is visible. And it seems as we grow up, we lose it. But it isn't something just for children. It is something that belongs to life, because life is divine and the divine is a miracle. And again, just the simple act of saying yes, participating in this greatest miracle that is within our own hearts, that is within our own souls. It is, if you knew how extraordinary it is to be a human being. When I was 23, I had a very powerful experience in which I saw, the only time in my life I've ever seen visually what human beings really are. And I remember I was in a driveway, and at the end of the driveway there was a street, and along this street there was a group of school children on an outing. I guess they were 6 or 7 years old, and in those days, I don't know how it is now, in England they used to walk 2 by 2. Each child held the hand of the child next door, and it was 2 by 2 with a teacher at the beginning and the teacher at the end. And for a moment the veils in front of me dropped, and I saw these children as they really are, and I saw that where the heart was in each of these school children, there was this incredibly beautiful sun. Each child was so beautiful and so full of life and so full of light. I mean, I could hardly bear it with my eyes, so it only lasted a few seconds, and that's the only time in this life, in full consciousness, I've seen what human beings really are, how incredibly beautiful they are. Each human being is a sun. Each human being is this being of light. And then there is this, in a way, to me, the real mystery is that we have forgotten it, is that we don't see it. It's that we live in this world the Sufis call covered by veils. I mean, the Sufi says, yes, there has to be these veils, 70,000 veils of light and 70,000 veils of darkness, otherwise the glories of God would burn you away. But maybe we are allowed in our life, in our practice, to get closer to that truth of what it means to be a human being, of what it means to be alive, and what it means to be an incarnation of spirit. And as I say, in a way, all you have to do at the beginning is to say yes, to be a place where God can come alive in your own heart. And for the Sufis, of course, it is with love, because that is the Sufi relationship to God is of love. It is a love affair. It is a burning in the heart. It is this sweet, sweet calling within the heart. As Rumi said, I never knew that God too desires us, that he wants us to know him in our heart, and he sends this message of love to us. Again, love is something so simple. It is, and so foundational to everything. And again, we kind of look for it in all the wrong places. It is, to me, again, the human mystery is like we have forgotten. It is like where we don't go to find what is real. It is the truth that is inside of us, this love that is inside of us, waiting to be lived. Because this spark in the heart, this divine presence, is love, waiting to be lived. Yes, it is a painful love because it is a love that is truth. It is a love that doesn't want to play games. When Rumi says, different degrees of domination and servitude are what you know as love. But love is different. It arrives complete just there like the moon at the window. Seek only that of which you have no hope. Desire only that of which you have no clue. This is not the Oxus River or some little creek. This is the shoreless sea. Here swimming ends always in drowning. And yes, this love is a very demanding love because it is real, because it is divine, because it wants to reveal to us what we really are and what life really is. That is not a buying and selling. It's not, you don't have to achieve anything. Those are all the games that we have been sold. It's something much, much more simple. It is a miracle that is waiting to happen for each of us. And what is extraordinary is how many people pass by that miracle because they are too busy. My teacher, he used to say, we stand in the marketplace with our hands full of jewels, but people pass by because they think it is false. And it is this extraordinary beauty and power and dignity that we each have within us, because it is this divine presence. It isn't anything else. Nobody has a second-rate God. It is for each of us, in each human being, there is this extraordinary living presence waiting to come alive. And yes, it is a demanding presence. I often felt that when it said, in the Old Testament, and thy God is a jealous God. He is a jealous lover for the Sufis. He is a jealous lover. But he is a real lover. And he wants to come to know you. He wants to reveal himself within you. He wants, it is like any lover, he wants to share his love. And again, all you have to do is say, yes, beloved, use me, take me, reveal yourself to me. If you can go within yourself, within your own heart, in your own life, it's not anywhere else. Again, you don't have to achieve anything, you don't have to realize anything. You have to be true to that spark inside of yourself. And welcome it, like you welcome a lover, like you welcome a guest, like you welcome a friend. For the Sufis, the beloved is often referred to as the friend. Because he is our friend. He wants to help us. There is no judgment. There is deep friendship. He wants to help us along the way. He wants to help us in our life. He just wants to help us. One great Sufi, Abu Sa'id, he said, what could be more pleasing than when friend is with friend? The rest is only talk. That is all joy. The rest is only grief. That is all love. This spiritual friendship that is waiting to be lived. Again, it's very, very simple. Again, I think Meister Eckhart, he said, God is a simple essence. In our culture, we tend to complicate everything. We have theories about everything. It is like, I often think that the sadness that women today read books upon what it means to be a mother. You have to read books on how to bring up your children. There are even books on breastfeeding. I mean, this most simple, natural process. And this truth is just within us. You don't have to join anything. Yes, it can be helpful to find a spiritual practice to help you work with it. To find a prayer, to find a meditation that is sympathetic to your nature. As it said in the Quran, every being has his own mode of prayer and glorification. To find your way of being with God. To find your way of living that essence within you. And respecting it. Somehow in this culture we have very little respect. And you do have to respect this divine spark in your own heart. This living presence of God. The Sufis call it adab. There is the outer adab, how to live it among other people, and there is the inner adab, how to live with that divine in your own heart. It's respect. It's respecting that really, from a mystical point of view, your heart is a home for God. Your heart is a home for that presence to come and live. Your life is a place for a miracle to take place. And there is no greater miracle than, in a way, realizing God within your own heart. Realizing that divine presence, that oneness, that love. And there are so many ways to experience it. As peace, as love, as joy, as service, as sacrifice. Even as this deep, deep sorrow within the heart. The Sufis call longing. So that's really just what I wanted to share with you. Is this living presence of God. Because that's what we are. When I saw those children walking along the street, and I saw that sun burning in each of their heart, that's what that sun is. It's the living presence of God. Here in this world. And it's in each of us. It is this spark. Otherwise, the soul would die. Otherwise, life would have no meaning. And for me, all that matters is to say yes and to learn to live with it. So that you honor what it really means to be a human being, what it really means to be alive, what it really means to walk in the presence of God, to live in the presence of God. And then, of course, there comes this greater miracle when you begin to see God in everything, not just within your own heart. Wheresoever you turn, there is the face of God. When you begin to live in the world as it really is, not as it appears. And this is a beautiful step on the path. When you look into the eyes of somebody and you see the divine, it doesn't even have to be something beautiful, because everything in this world is the living presence of God. As Thomas Keating said, there is no other. There never was an other. Everything is Him. And we once the veils are lifted, you begin to live in this world that is His world. It is an extraordinary experience. And that is, to me, the miracle of being a human being, is we are given the opportunity to participate in His miracle, in God's miracle, the divine miracle, her miracle. It doesn't matter how you call it. The Sufis say, in the name of He who has no name, but who appears by whatever name you call Him. And it's the simple miracle of being a human being, of being given the privilege to see the divine and experience the divine in one's life.